And I can't make out who is absent. Just a second, I will take the book, my register book, and we will start. We are going to start. Well, it seems everybody is here. We may start the lesson. Okay. So, morning once again. Well, and for today we're supposed to be ready with exercises from, you had only 3 exercises based on phrasal verbs. We are going to check all these things right now. And I will go on listening to your speaking. It seems to me Shumsky Danilo is not with us. Right, he was supposed to speak today, but he is not here. Oh no, Danilo joined us. Okay, so now everyone is present. Just a second. Okay, let's start checking. Let's start checking the exercises. Page 60. So Lev, be so kind. The first exercise with break and burn.
Which book?
Use of English. For today, you had only use of English. Yeah. You had 3 exercises, tiny exercises based on use of English. While Levko is looking for his use of English, Andrew Pokora.
I'm buying a new card because the old one keeps breaking down, stops functioning.
Yes.
As government announced harsh economic measures, riots broke out throughout the country.
Through the country. Underline just a second. What is riot? Riots broke out.
Ну, це типу, як це протести?
Протести, так. Заколоти протести. So it is active. Riots broke out. The war may break out. Good.
The thief broke into the house and stole the jewels, entered illegally. She couldn't handle being under so much stress, so she broke down and started crying.
So?
Lose control of one's feeling.
She broke down. And there is such a noun as she had a nervous breakdown. So, but she broke down, the phrasal verb. Thank you, Lavko. Andrei, go on.
Yes, 4th set?
No, the 5th. The 5th.
I started describing what had happened to the police officer, but my sister broke in and to tell him something I had forgotten. And it's
interrupted. She broke in. Вклинилась, запхала своїх 2 гроші, right? 6.
They broke up after having been together for 3 years. They broke up. Ended a relationship.
Yes.
If Peter doesn't stop working so hard, he will burn out before his time. Become exhausted.
Yes, вигорить, to burn out, вигоріти, right? 8.
By the time the fire brigade arrived, the building had already burned down. Be destroyed by fire.
By fire. Thank you. Галя. Is Галя with us?
Yes.
What is English for? Протести по країні розпочалися. Так раптово, несподівано. The riots. Sentence number 2. Sophia, help Галя. Софія Михайлова.
Можете повторити?
Протести розпочалися по країні.
Rise broke out through the
Broke.
country.
Угу. Окей, Софія wants one more question. Вони розійшлися, порвали стосунки.
Broke up.
They broke up. Thank you. Устим, будинок вигорів дотла. Устим.
Yes, the house burned down already.
Has burned down. Окей. Вигоріти. Вигорання емоційне, психологічне. So, не працюй так багато, бо в тебе настане вигорання.
To
Змучишся.
burn out.
You will burn out. Okay, you remember break into means interrupt, перебити бесіду. She had a nervous breakdown or she broke down. Вона вийшла з себе, розплакалася. And something, your car or some other equipment keeps breaking down, ламається. Let's proceed. Володя. Volodya, can you go on? Yesterday you had some. Okay, today we can hear you. So with the cut. So read, please. Yes, cut out of. Вирізати з чогось. Cut out of something. Good. Next. No. Cut off means, again, interrupted. Перебивати. The speaker was cut off by protesters many times during her speech. So she was interrupted. Вони її перебивали. У нас було interrupt here, broke in. Вона так зайшла на хвилинку, заглянула, перебила. In this meaning. And here she was talking and she was cut off by. They did not let her speak. Number 4, Volodya. Pay attention, cut up the meat, otherwise інакше собака ним подавиться. So choke on something. Pay attention to the preposition. It's also active. I'm going to ask you to translate the whole sentence. Thank you. Well, Orest, 5-6.
The boys are shooting upstairs. Tell them to cut it out.
Actually, it was not okay. Tell them to cut it out is what?
Stop doing.
Okay, and number 5, you skipped number 5.
During the winter, the island is cut off from the rest of the world, and this is isolated.
Yes, right. Cut off from the rest of the world. Відрізаний від цілого світу. So you have to memorize these sentences, these phrases in context. I'm going to ask them like, вирізати з журналу. Це було вирізано. It was cut out of the magazine. Перестань їсти. Cut down on eating junk food. Cut down on something. Перестань. Start consuming less. The speaker was cut off by the protesters. Так і завчати. Cut up the meat, otherwise the dog will choke on it. It's active. Be cut off from the rest of the world. Active phrase. Cut it out means stop doing. Припиніть. Thank you, Orest. Let's go on. Turn. We have Yura. Yura.
Hello, turn off the heater. It's very hot in there. I think it's switch off.
Good. Next.
John has turned into a reliable and effective worker, much to my surprise.
So,
Change
Yura,
to.
stop. He turned into a reliable and efficient worker, much to my surprise. The whole sentence is active. Він перетворився на надійного і дуже там працьовитого, ефективного, професійного працівника на моє велике здивування. It's also active, to my surprise. So, Yura, what have you chosen? He turned
Change
into?
to.
change to. And one more.
It turned out to be a great party. Result in particular way.
Result in a particular way. Це виявилося класною вечоринкою. Okay, thank you. Go on, Ростик Проказюк.
More people turned up at the meeting than I had expected. Arrive unexpectedly.
Right.
Can you please turn down the music? I can't hear you. Reduce the amount of sound heat.
6.
My application for a visa was turned down again. Reject.
Good, Rostek, thank you. So, turn up means появитися, з'явитися, arrive. He turned up unexpectedly. Turn down the music, you know, and to reject, to turn down. Відхилити. Your application, my application form was turned down. Thank you. Sophia, 7, 8, 9.
Don't forget to turn on the alarm when you leave home. Switch on. I want you know that you can turn to me for help anytime. Come and do and ask for. When Jessica heard the favorite songs, she turned up the radio full blast and started dancing. Increase the amount of sound heat.
Okay, underline the phrase she turned up the radio full blast. You will have this in translation. Вона підкрутила радіо на повну катушку, так? She turned up the radio full blast, a colloquial phrase. So it's active. Харитя, do you remember what is English for? Ти завжди можеш прийти до мене там за порадою. Харить. Number 8. You can always turn
to me for help.
Turn to means if you need sympathy, if you need to find somebody who will sympathize you with something, you can turn to your parents and so on. One more question, Харитя. Він з'явився в класі несподівано.
He was turned down again.
No. He turned up, sentence number 4. Yes, arrive unexpectedly or come unexpectedly. He turned up, з'явився. So, перетворити когось на щось. So, to turn somebody into something or turn something into something. Харитя, do you remember what is English for? Моя анкета, моя заява була відхилена. Synonym to reject and phrasal verb is my application form was turned down. Okay, thank you, Харитя. Now, Шумський Данило. Не забувай порізати м'ясо, бо ти можеш подивитися ним, якщо не поріжеш. Translate such a sentence. Данило.
Don't forget to cut out the meat.
To cut up the meat. Інакше зможеш подивитися. Otherwise, you may choke on it. Danilo, sentence 4, cut. So, cut up the meat. Otherwise, you may choke on it. It's active. Also active, включити радіо на повну катушку. Turn up, підкрутити the radio full blast. So, turn to somebody, до когось по допомогу, for help anytime. So, turn down the application form or reject. Turn up at the meeting. So, keep these things in mind. Some more questions. That's going to be Levko. Levko, what is English for окрім? Apart from. Якби не ти, я би цього не зробив.
If not for you.
But for, page 60, там є. But for your help, I wouldn't have done that. Устим, окрім,
Apart from.
ще, ну, apart from, і ще було, за винятком когось, за винятком.
Except from.
Except for. Незважаючи на,
In spite of.
in spite of або regardless of. Угу. На моє велике здивування, Володя. Володя, на моє велетенське здивування. To my surprise. Sentence number 2, exercise C. To my surprise. За таких обставин я не можу працювати. Я не можу працювати за таких обставин. Володь, it's you. Yes, I can't work under these circumstances. Окей. Що в тебе на думці, Софія? Be so kind, switch on your mics, everybody, because I'm going to ask you. What's on your mind, Софія? What is on your mind? Ростик, я обіцяю завжди бути на твоїй стороні, завжди тебе підтримувати. I promise to support
I
you.
promise to be by your side.
By your side. Окей. Це мене застало зненацька. Ростик, do you remember sentence number 10? Це для мене було
Yes,
цілковитим сюрпризом.
It took me by surprise.
Yes, it took me by surprise. Okay. Thank you, Левко, на сторінці 50.
On page 50.
On page. Окей, окей. Орест, в мене склалося враження. Sorry. I am under the impression that, sentence 9, to be under the impression. Орест, one more. Я за те, щоб заборонити куріння в школі. It is exercise B. I am in favor of
Comparison to.
I am in favor of prohibiting
Stops.
something. In favor of banning smoking. In favor of banning smoking in our schools. Від імені нашого класу, Андрій, дозвольте вам сказати.
On behalf of our class, let me say something.
Let me tell you something. Добре. So you understand the way I'm going to ask you the phrases. Тепер розумієте, яким чином я буду вас питати. So you have to memorize the sentences in context. It would be easier for you. In spite of не треба казати, треба активно казати. Regardless of. Завдяки чомусь. Owing to. Thanks to. Можна синоніми називати. Apart from, except for. Всупереч, contrary to. На честь когось. In honor of somebody. Пам'ятник поставили на честь когось. Там the monument was set up in honor of. Від імені класу. Це на зубок треба знати. On behalf of. I am in favor of doing something. А далі пішло. So the war broke out. Розгорілася. Або riots broke out. To break in. You will burn out. The house burnt down. Будинок вигорів дотла. And so on. Well, right now I am going to listen to your retellings, and your task is going to be the following. So at home, I don't remember if I asked you to go. So page 62, revision of modals. And this topic coincides with modals. We are going to have the same topic in our course book, modals too. So it's very good. That's why your task is going to be the following. Once again, you see grammar review, page 155. You go to grammar review, look through the theoretical things, but you know most of them. Actually, you know everything. Ви там все знаєте. Just refresh some things in your mind. And you have the following exercises to be done for tomorrow. Page 62, modals. one exercise, and page 64 also. The whole page with transformations. To be on the safe side, look through page 63, points to remember. You have typical mistakes. Here you have the explanation of some points to be paid attention to, like the difference between must and have to. You know this, I don't want to repeat, because you know must is always personal, have to is impersonal. And some peculiarities, for example, you will have such sentences as, and the difference between such two sentences as, you didn't need to buy bread and you needn't have bought bread. You didn't need to and you needn't have bought. Pay attention, page 63, the last but one dot. Передостання крапочка, там де є points to remember, 63 сторінка, бачите? Друга знизу крапочка, the second from the bottom. They didn't need to return the books to the library means it was not necessary, and we don't know if they did it or not. Не треба було, і швидше за все вони це не зробили. They didn't need to return. Не треба їм було. And the second sentence, they needn't have returned the books. It was not necessary, but they did that. Коли є оцей перфектний інфінітив, то не треба було, але вони це зробили. You needn't have gone there. Не треба було туди йти, і ти туди ходив. You needn't have gone. He didn't need to go. Не треба було, і він не пішов. Оцей didn't need to do. Не треба, не пішов. Needn't have done. And keep in mind these things. So, look through key transformations. We will do this all together, of course, tomorrow. So you have two pages, 62 and 64. That's it. Who is going to stay with me? So only Levko is through and Hantush Ustem. So boys, you may leave if you want. The rest will have to stay with me, but I'm not going, actually, I won't be able to listen to everybody. Let's decide who is going to stay with me. 4 students, I guess.
I can.
That's
I
who can?
Andrei.
Andrei. Andrei. Харетя, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, who else? Shumsky Danilo. Shumsky Danilo, you have to stay with me. And one more?
Ну і Володя.
И Volodya. Okay, that's it. The rest may leave. You have the task. So see you on Friday.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. So Andrei Pokora, quickly switch on the camera and start.
Yes. So, buildings currently, buildings when we are living, they are not very eco-friendly, and it's many signs are centered on looking for energy, renewable energy to put it to use and to save our planet. So present trends of development is eco-friendly buildings are doing it from timber at most, because it's ecological, and all furniture inside of these dwellings are from timber, because it's less harmful to the nature, like plastic or something else. Also, energy in these houses are getting from is made from solar power, and because it's less pollutes atmosphere, like hydroelectric power stations or atomic or station. And from this text, from our book, it would be really interesting to live in sea residence pavilion, because dwelling under the sea, it's is quite interesting and
Mhm.
and unrealistic because so far it's I can't believe how to live under the water because,
Mhm.
and that's all maybe.
That's all. Thank you, Andrew. What is English for повчальні?
Eye opening,
Eye-opening, advanced, synonym for
the
advanced,
cutting edge,
cutting edge, окей. Все, постільна білизна зроблена там з
linen,
натуральних.
made from organic cotton.
Organic cotton.
Organic.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Volodya, quickly. Okay, thank you. Volodya, thank you. Thank you. That's enough. So, Haretya.
Okay. This exciting exhibition is